Hello everyone and welcome to this new course, a book summary on a very beautiful book, Tuesdays with Morrie, written by Mitch album. I'm Abhishek TR and I'll be the presenter of this course. Here's a little information of who I am. I was born in Karnataka and for the past 15 years I've been living in Chennai. I stumbled on Unacademy through Quora and I'm really glad it happened. I'm an officer in a major public sector bank, and apart from that, I've cleared many bank PO exams, SSC and AFCAT. When I'm not busy being an officer, I'm into books, dosas, treks, Coldplay and Rahman. To catch my latest courses, do follow me on Unacademy, rate, review and comment if you've got any suggestions at the end of the course. Tuesdays with Morrie, as the name suggests, isn't just another normal storybook. It's a classroom where the subject taught is the meaning of life. It's more of a collection of emotions if you ask me. The story revolves around Mitch, the author of the book, and his favorite professor Morrie. Remember that favorite teacher you had in school and he who inspired you a lot? That's Morrie for you people. That's Morrie for Mitch album. At some point, this story might sound like a philosophy class and I might sound like a Himalayan Baba, but that's how it is. If you're looking for life's greatest lesson, I do recommend you pick up this book whenever you find time. The story begins with the graduation day of Mitch, where he bids goodbye to his favorite professor with a hug, and then he says one word, I'll meet you soon. But even after 16 years, that day never came. Mitch got busy with his life and was always aspired to become a musician. He played in nightclubs for years and years, only to realize that his dream was too far-fetched. He had an uncle who suffered from pancreatic cancer, and witnessing him die changed the perspective of Mitch, who looked at life a lot differently after that. He gave up his dreams, got back to school, mastered in journalism, and you know what? Went on to become a very successful sports journalist. Then after that, there was no looking back for him. He became too famous, featured in radio and TV shows, brought a huge bungalow, rode costly cars, and then he was so settled. But there was something missing, the feel of being complete. And that is how the story began. One lazy evening, as Mitch was surfing through the TV channels, he was stunned for a while. You know what? He witnessed someone on a very famous show, Nightline, where Ted Koppel, a very famous interviewer, was talking to an old man. You know who the old man is? Yep, you guessed it right. Morrie it was. That was the moment of realization for Mitch. It brought back all the beautiful memories that he had with Morrie, and looking at Morrie on a wheelchair made him sad. Apparently, Morrie had come down and has been living like this for the past few years after he was affected by a neurological disorder. He has been featured in the local magazine as the philosophical father, as he has been teaching a lot about life to people in the locality. That is how he stumbled on this very famous show, The Nightline. While Ted was interviewing Morrie about all the philosophies he had been following, there was something that Morrie said that moved Mitch a lot. So many people walk around with a meaningless life. They seem half asleep. Even when they are busy doing, they think they are important. This is because they're chasing the wrong things. The way you get meaning in your life is to devote yourself to loving others, devote yourself to your community around you, and devote yourself to creating something new that gives purpose and meaning. Bam! That was the moment of epiphany for Mitch. He wanted to go and hug his professor right then and there. But there was something that held him back really bad. The regret of not visiting his favorite professor all these years. You know what happened the next day? Mitch was standing in front of Morrie's house in his car and wondering whether to enter or not. And then, when Morrie witnessed Mitch standing there, he came to him, hugged him, kissed him, and said, Oh God, my dear old friend, welcome. It was a beautiful Tuesday morning, and Mitch and Morrie had a very brief conversation. Mitch became totally sentimental about his life and started sharing that he hasn't been that happy even though he has been very successful. That is when Morrie utters these beautiful lines. Dying is only one thing to be sad over. Living unhappily is something else. And with that, the first lesson of Morrie's class begins. That day, when Mitch was about to leave Morrie, he had made up his mind for one thing. He was going to meet Morrie, his favorite professor, every single Tuesday and feel complete about himself. You know why? Morrie brought him happiness. All those beautiful thoughts his sparkling eyes, his philosophy toward life, and even being positive when you're being dreaded by such a life threatening disease. This is what moved Mitch a lot. And then, with this, I take you to the world of Morrie. Wait a minute. Before you enter our classroom, let me make sure you have one thing in hand, a notepad and a pen. I'll be dropping some of philosophy's bombs of Morris now and then, and I'll be asking a few questions, and I hope you answer them and look at life in a different way. Anyway, I'll see you in class, people. Bye bye, and have a great day. Sayonara.